Have you ever met someone from South Dakota? If your answer to this question is no, then you may agree with some conspiracy theorists who argue that South Dakota doesn't really exist. Apparently, there's a sect of people on the internet who believe that South Dakota is actually a front for Area 51. However, if you talk to Hannah, she'll tell you the more likely explanation as to why you've never met someone from South Dakota is that people from there hardly ever leave. Hannah grew up in a small town in South Dakota called Wagner. And by small town, I don't mean like Malibu small town. I mean they had a population half the size of Pepperdine students, and the only things to do there on the weekend were to go to the $5 movie theater or the bowling alley before they closed that down. So needless to say, Hannah always wanted to leave Wagner, whether it was in the fact that she wore shorts in the middle of the winter or her desire to live in a more beachy community. She knew she wouldn't stay there forever. When it came time to applying for colleges, it wasn't a very difficult decision for her to make to follow in her sister's footsteps and apply to Pepperdine. While going to a college in a state different from your own may seem pretty normal to most of us, it wasn't a common thing in Wagner. Most people either lived on their family farms their entire lives or only moved a couple cities over. So needless to say, some people had questions for Hannah. She recalled this time that she was working in a diner and one of the men she was serving asked her what she was majoring in at Pepperdine. And she told him art history and psychology. And he kind of quickly dismissed that idea and told her she needed to major in something more practical. This is a criticism that art majors hear all the time, that art is an impractical pursuit and that you really shouldn't follow it. And people love to list the reasons why you shouldn't follow it, whether it's that you'll have to pay your parents back for college one day, or that you want to start a family and you can't support them on art, or that the real world isn't as nice as college. All sorts of arguments like that. And basically what they all boil down to is this idea that pursuing art and pursuing your passions is selfish. But from what I know of Hannah, she is far from a selfish person. In fact, she has a passion for service. She talked about mission trips she's gone on where she's worked in orphanages and played with the children there. She talked about how she has a passion for working with girls who have body image issues, overcome their struggles, and learn to love themselves. And now she works in the Pepperdine Volunteer Center, leading different service trips every week. And when I asked Hannah what had inspired her to serve, she told this story that she heard when she was younger about this girl who had grown up wishing for blue eyes her whole life. And when she got older, she ended up having this life-changing experience as a missionary in India, in a position that she wouldn't have been able to have had she had blue eyes and looked more European. And what Hannah took from this story is that you have to learn to help the world not in spite of, but because of the gifts you were given. And with this in mind, Hannah wants to become an art therapist with her art history and psychology double major. In this way, she can use her passions in a way that will serve other people and make the world a better place in the way that only she can. And what I've learned from talking with Hannah is that you can't become the person you're meant to be if you don't take some risks in life. You have to be willing to leave behind what's familiar, to accept the gifts you are given, and to be open to the criticism that's likely going to come your way. But it will all be worth it because while Wagner will remain the same unchanging town, Hannah will be using her passions to help make the world a better place and inspiring other people to do the same.